Lack of reciprocity in a relationship is usually mutual, meaning both parties in the relationship are experiencing the lack of reciprocity at the same time. So when you find yourself complaining that you're putting in a lot of work into the relationship and it's not being reciprocated, there's a very high chance that the person you're complaining about, who's not reciprocating your work, is also experiencing the same lack of reciprocity to their effort into the relationship. And here's one very common reason that leads to this. So there's usually one person in the relationship, or both people in the relationship, who are interacting more with their thoughts about the other person than with the other person. So there's one person in the relationship who's paying more attention to what they think the other person thinks about them than actually interacting with the person to know what they think. So take, for example, if me and you are in a relationship and I'm the one who is more in my head, when you ask me a question, instead of answering that question, so you ask me, how's your day? Instead of answering that question, I'm going to start wondering, what do you want me to say to that question? What will make you happy? Do you want me to make you happy? And so I get stuck in my own thoughts, doing a lot of mental work, trying to figure out what it is that you want me to say. I don't want to make you angry, so how do I give you a response that's not going to make you angry? And I get stuck in that, and I'm doing a lot of mental work. And the reciprocity that I'm expecting is for you to recognize that I'm putting in a lot of work into the relationship. I'm thinking about your feelings. I'm considering what you want me to say. And when I don't get that from you, and you're not aware that I'm expecting that from you, then I feel the lack of reciprocity. And then the other person might actually be more present and interactive and active in the interaction. And so they're wondering why you're quite distant. They're wondering why you're not responding. They're wondering why you keep having these fights that you can't really understand where they're coming from. So that's one case where one person is in their head a lot and the other person is present. The other way could be that both of them are in their head. So both of them are having interactions with their thoughts about the other person without actually having interactions with the person. And so to them, they're doing the work. They're putting in the effort for the relationship because they're being considerate. They're trying very hard to read the other person's mind so that they don't get them upset, they don't annoy them, they don't disappoint them. And usually they're not able to actually do it, and so they end up having these arguments that, again, they're not able to understand where it's coming from. And so you want to start becoming aware of where your attention is when you're interacting with the person you're in a relationship with, to know where you're putting the effort. If the effort is mental and it's in your mind, meaning the other person cannot see that effort, then how are they expected then to reciprocate to that, because they're not aware of what's going on? And so once you become aware that you're more in your mind, you're interacting more with your thoughts, more with trying to read the other person's mind, then the next course of action would be that you try as much as possible to find ways and strategies to become more present, more active in participation, to interact with the other person so that you can know what they're thinking, you can know how they're treating you, you can know how they feel about you. You can know what actually is going on, so that when you say it's not being reciprocated, there's actually evidence that there's effort you've put in to participate in the relationship, to work on the relationship, that is visible to the other person, and the other person is not reciprocating it. So that's one of the common reasons. But like I said, lack of reciprocity in a relationship is usually on both sides, is usually mutual.